The rich are missing out on the housing grant. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I'm still working through my stein of coffee. I thought we'd have a look at this article discussing the limit or cap on the combined family income for those who could receive the housing grant. Now this is more information that's being slowly drip-fed to everyone. So what could happen is we're getting all this information, getting prepped, and then the final outcome could be a lot better. Maybe I'm just being too skeptical and cynical in my old age. But let's have a look at this. So families with a combined income of less than $200,000 are the big winners in the home grant scheme. So if your family income is less than 200 grand, you could be eligible for this. Now, if you're earning 200,000 income, sounds impressive. But you've got to remember, you're paying over 60 grand of that in tax, guys. So you can see why people are incentivized to invest in property and all these other things to minimize that tax burden. I don't blame them. They'll definitely do better with the money than the government would. So let's have a look at this. The government will pay out grants of around $25,000 to build new homes or renovate, but not everyone will be eligible. So our friend with 200 homes that we were looking at in a previous article, he won't be able to have a chance at this. And I just need to have a shot of coffee. So he won't be able to be eligible for this unless his income is less than $200,000, which you'd hope it wouldn't be with $18 million in debt. Families with a combined taxable income of less than $200,000 are the big winners under Scott Morrison's new home buyers scheme, which will ban millionaires from claiming the free cash. I like how they put free in quotation marks, because yes, it's not free. It is not free. We will all pay for it one way or another. Even if you're below the $200,000, you'll pay for it in taxations and other costs eventually. News.com.au has confirmed that a means test will be applied to the new stimulus grants, which are set to be announced as early as Thursday. But the Morrison government has scorched speculation of GST refunds of up to $50,000 for new home builds. The combined grants to home ownership, which builds on existing grants, is in the ballpark of $25,000. So you might get a portion of your stamp duty back. They take with one hand and give to the other. It's what happens when you have these interventions in the markets, guys. It's all song and games. It's all psychology. It's all making you feel better. Stung by accusations that the Morrison government plans to hand out free money to the rich, government sources stress that the scheme will be aimed at low to middle income earners to help them enter the property market. And here's the thing. This is why I think Australia will never get a UBI. We will never have universal basic income because of this. There'll be, people bashing their chest, going free money to the rich. So you'll never get it, guys. You'll never get it. The Prime Minister and Treasurer were finalising the plan at the meeting of the Budget Raiser Gang of Cabinet on Tuesday, but government sources suggested existing income tests for the first home deposit scheme were a good guide. These income tests require singles to prove they earn less than $125,000 to qualify for the scheme. Couples can have a combined income of $200,000 to qualify for the first home deposit scheme, which was announced in the 2019 election. Bank lenders are responsible for checking applicants' income over the previous financial year. The Prime Minister has not ruled out including major renovations in the scheme, but stressed it was big projects that employed tradies and supported jobs was the focus of the scheme, not DIY projects at home. So guys, those of you hoping that Bunnings would shoot up because of everyone spending 25 grand on house renos, it's sadly not going to happen, and you probably have to kick in as much as well. And here's the thing, with this type of scale, it's just going to pull future work forward. It's going to pull future work forward. The new scheme will also be designed to help bushfire victims who lost their home as fires raged across the country over summer rebuild their lives and homes, including bushfire-proofing their properties. Well, that's good. That's good. There needs to be design changes. There needs to be innovations in that industry, in construction in remote areas. Millionaires will not be able to claim grants to renovate their homes or build new luxury properties under the proposed scheme, which will be temporary to support tradies' jobs during the pandemic. However, the first home buyer scheme for new houses is likely to be temporarily extended to families who have previously owned property if they meet the income test and eligibility rules. Well, see, that's good. So if you had a property and you've lost it, this may be a chance to get back into it. Maybe, if you've never gotten the first home buyer's grant, this may be a chance to get into it. House building, residential construction is going to be one of those gaps we need to address, Mr. Morrison said on Monday. This is all just feeling more of the same old, same old. This is Australia, guys. Housing and natural resources. This is our national sport, isn't it? We'll have more to say about this once the details are finalised, but it is about creating jobs and supporting jobs in our residential construction sector. The tradies and all the others, the apprentices and the others who work in the at-home building sector, are a sector we know are going to feel a lot of pain unless we can keep a continuity in the business and house construction. So, do you think they'll start pushing up for more immigration, more people to come over to Australia to prop up this bubble? It feels like it. It feels like it. They're throwing everything at this sector. As the Morrison government put the finishing touches on the scheme, there was some good news on the economy, with the Reserve Bank declaring the downturn could be less catastrophic than previously thought. The RBA announced it would keep official interest rates steady at 0.25% on Tuesday. In a statement, the RBA Governor Philip Lowe said there was promising signs that the fallout from the pandemic in Australia would not be as catastrophic as originally had feared. The Australian economy is going through a very difficult period and is experiencing the biggest economic contraction since the 1930s, he said. Notwithstanding these developments, it is possible that the depth of the downturn will be less than earlier expected. The rate of new infections has declined significantly, and some restrictions have been eased earlier than was previously thought likely. And there are signs that hours work stabilized in early May after the very sharp decline. The board is committed to do what it can to support jobs, income and businesses, and to make sure that Australia is well placed for the recovery. Despite the good news, there was also confirmation that many more Australians ended up on unemployment benefits as a result of the pandemic lockdowns. While Treasury has originally predicted job seeker numbers would peak at 1.7 million in September, a Senate inquiry heard that expectation was close to being reached now, after fewer workers than expected signed up for the JobKeeper wage subsidy scheme. So, I can't say I'm surprised, because the JobKeeper, that's on the businesses having to front load those payments. And that's, if they're getting hard cash flow times, they may not be able to do that, guys. So what do you think about this? Are you happy that the cap for $200,000 is hit? Do you think the tradies and builders who are going to be, whose businesses will keep going, how many of them do you think will they suddenly up their fees? Will this drive the cost of construction, or will they use it to keep their teams going? Will the people who are making money off this, will they, be spending more confident to buy? I was talking yesterday on site. Apparently a plumber who's working on this project, he just invested, I think 180 grand in a new piece of equipment to vacuum suck out for pipe installation, taking advantage of these RBA loans. So there are people out there that are using these opportunities to invest in their business. I'm sure a lot of them have government work and opportunities like that to give them the confidence to do that. We'll have to see if this will save us, if this will help the Australian economy. It's going to definitely be interesting to see. Will we get the sharp property prices declines that people are predicting, if, with all this government stimulus thrown at everything, you won't get the number of people that need to be having those forced sales? Will JobKeeper and JobSeeker, will that be continued on in September? I'll be shocked if they cut it. I really will. We'll have to see what happens, guys. It's definitely going to be an interesting year to follow the markets, follow housing and property. As always, please let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Are you in the construction sector? Are you in house building? Where do you think it's going to head? Are you tooling up? Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and you'd like to support us, there are a few ways you can. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us via our affiliate links at Amazon or eBay or Independent Reserve and Kucoin. You can buy a merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, everyone. I'll see you in the next episode.